This video is to warn you to stock up on as much food as you can for a period of at least 6 months to 1 year if you can. Hi YouTube fam, welcome back to my channel. If you just see me for the first time, thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Linda and I make videos from Lagos, Nigeria. This video is to warn you to stock up on as much food as you can for a period of at least 6 months to 1 year. If you can stretch it up to 1 year, then please do stock up on as much food as possible. The reason why I'm saying you should stock up on food is that I believe a food shortage is coming. There might still be food available, but the prices of the food will be so high that it will make it very difficult for the low-income earners to be able to afford the food that would eventually be available when this whole scarcity thing begins on a large scale. So guys, the number one reason why I predict that a food shortage is coming is flooding. In recent months in China has been experiencing serious flooding, and 80% or even more than 80% of their crops were destroyed as a result of the flooding. In North Korea, there has been sanctions preventing them from getting food from China, which is a supplier of food in North Korea. And North Korea right now is experiencing severe food shortages. And even in China, the government came up with policies saying Operation Clean Plate. Any more mukbangs, this thing where people get a whole lot of food and you're eating the food at one sitting. There will be no more mukbangs in China. So people have to ensure that they eat and clean their plates. And if you go to a restaurant and you are two, you'd only get a portion, you only get food for one person. That is, both of you will eat the food together. That means if you go to a restaurant in China and just one person goes there, the one person wouldn't get food. So if you want to eat food in China, two people will have to go to the restaurant to get a portion for one person. And if it's 3 people, you get a portion for 2 people. So this is one of the reasons why I feel that we should be preparing to this. And when it comes to Nigeria, farmers have been complaining about the increase in the price of fertilizer. And recently I saw an article saying that there's flooding going on right now in River Niger. It's affected some other African countries, and it's going to also affect Nigeria in states such as Anambra State, Delta State, and places around the River Niger. And they also said that it is going to affect food production in Nigeria, they said. And I'm going to link an article on this in the description box, so you could head over there to read the article on that. So another thing again when it comes to Nigeria is farmers have been complaining about the cost of poultry feed, and farmers have been complaining about the cost of fertilizer, asking government to come in and subsidize the price of fertilizer. Another thing is also the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria recently announced that they would not be providing forex for people who import food, implying that they would only be depending on food that is produced in Nigeria. If food production in Nigeria is reduced, and if the food which is intended to be produced this year is destroyed by flood waters, what does that imply? And another thing also is farmers are complaining about their farms being damaged by herdsmen, their crops being damaged by herdsmen. What does that also do to food production? And recently I also saw an article saying that the federal government of Nigeria borrowed food from ECOWAS. Nigeria is now borrowing food from ECOWAS. Nigeria is now borrowing food. So normally the food reserves for Nigeria is normally at 1.3 million metric tons capacity. That's the food capacity. That's the volume of food that the food reserves in Nigeria could store. But right now it has gone down to just 30,000 metric tons from a reserve capacity of 1.3 million metric tons to 30,000 metric tons. So and Nigeria borrowed 5,000 metric tons of food from ECOWAS. So you are borrowing food from ECOWAS and you are restricting people from getting foreign exchange to be able to import fertilizer and import food into the country. with other things happening in Nigeria in focus. So it's been said that there's some parts of Nigeria that are also experiencing droughts. And when there's drought, definitely the food production is also going to reduce. And this drought situation is not just peculiar to just Nigeria. Certain African countries are also experiencing droughts, like South Africa. I also think Sudan is also experiencing droughts. So guys, I think it's really, really important that we stock up on as much food as possible. A recent article from the United Nations and CNN and some other news media has said that food shortage of biblical proportion is expected. And they didn't really give you a time frame as when it's going to start or when it's going to end. But guys, you need to go out there and start buying as much food as possible, as much food as you can afford, things that wouldn't spoil. Ensure you're checking the expiry dates to see the shelf life of the product you're purchasing. Things like rice. Now the prices of food are beginning to rise in Nigeria. There has been a persistent rise in the cost of things like rice, and recently I saw a post from the Guardian newspaper in Nigeria saying that consumers should expect 50% increase in the cost of bread. And I also saw an article recently, or rather a video on Channels Television, about I think the minister in charge of agriculture saying that Nigeria needs to start being more self-sufficient. It's more like we should all go into agriculture and start planting what we're going to eat, because the government is not going to spend money on importing food, because importing food has become too expensive for the country. So guys, all of this is just a clear indication that a food shortage is coming. If you even look at the impact of COVID-19 in the world at large, how it's limited importation of food, exports on a global scale, you would see that even in countries such as US, people who had meat and milk, they had to waste some of their produce because there was the supply chain, the logistics in which they would normally use in shipping these goods were not available, or even packaging materials were unavailable. Because I recently watched a video where it was said that normally things that are being used in packaging meats to store available in the US, and it's making canned foods, or is it canned food or meat or something, unavailable for the general public. So guys, I think this really peculiar times, this period is one that one shouldn't just look at these things and just overlook it. I think as much as possible, even if you are earning little, no matter how little you earn, take out at least a portion of your income and start buying up things that you can store for at least a period of 6 months to 1 year. So guys, I just felt the need to make this video. I know that this shortage thing was going to happen for about 3 months or 4 months, but I didn't want to make a video and talk about it. Though I have been telling people around me about it, but some of them just overlooked it. But now, as a result of it has become like public knowledge right now, though they are not really making it obvious for the general public, because they don't want to create a panic whereby people would now go and start buying up everything and there'll be nothing left available. Because with the previous COVID lockdown panic buying, it created shortages. So guys, just as much as possible, buy up what you can buy up and store up. Buy things like rice, buy dry foods, buy things that you eat on a regular basis, so you are not caught off guard and unprepared. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I know I probably rambled a bit, but the essence is just to tell you, go and get as much food as you can, because really, he who controls your food controls you. He who controls your food controls you. You don't want to leave yourself at the mercy of the government to feed you. So please get as much food as you can and stock up, and ensure that you keep your food safe also. Inform people around you, your family, your friends, because they will be the ones coming to ask you for food. Tell them now so they should go and stock up their own food, so that they won't come and be disturbing it for your own food that you've saved up for yourself. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and please subscribe to my channel for more amazing content. Like this video, share with your friends and family, very, very important. Share it with them, and also look at the articles where I attached in the description box, so you will get a better understanding on all of what I'm actually saying. So I'll see you in my next video, guys. Bye. I love you.